Hi everybody, welcome back to Cotto Verde. My name's Annette and today we're sowing some more seeds. Today I'm sowing poppy seeds. It is blowing a gale outside, so apologies for the noise of the wind, but we have got Storm Eunice hitting our shores today, and for us here in the UK this is a mighty storm. So I'm sowing inside again rather than outside because I don't want my poppy seeds blowing everywhere, but also it's particularly unpleasant out there. So a lot of people will sow their poppy seeds just by scattering them out in the snow in the cold, and Erin from The Impatient Gardener has a really good video about this and I'll link it below. But I am sowing my seeds into cell trays. Most of the poppy seeds germinate at about 15 to 20 degrees, so I will put these on a heat mat in my storeroom and I'll show you that. They also need light, so I'm not going to cover the seeds, which is why just scattering them on the ground is such an easy way to sow poppies. The reason I'm not doing that is because I don't have an area where I can specifically sow them. And I've got 15 varieties that I'm sowing today, so I'd have to have like 15 different areas where I could identify that those are poppy seedlings and not weeds, and I just don't have that space. So for me, it's easier to sow into cell trays. So what I'm going to do is quickly go over how I'm sowing them, and then I will go through the varieties. So skip to the varieties if that's the bit you're interested in, but what I'm using is the Melcourt Silver Grow peat-free compost that I always use to sow them. I will link it below. It's really important to me that I use the peat-free compost, and I really like this one. It's a really good texture. You can sieve it if you prefer yours to be finer, but I don't ever find that I need to do that. I'm using, so if you can hear a kitten meowing, that's baby Blue. So I'm using these green trays. They are 40 cell trays. So I'm going to have 5 of each variety except for the amazing grey, and I'm going to have 10 of those. So with the green trays, they're quite, can you see how they're sort of, they can bend like this? So if, you know, your soil's wet and when the plants get bigger, they're a bit fragile. So I put them in harder trays. So this is like a, actually let me take it out. So I put them in harder trays. These trays have got holes in the bottom, which is really important for drainage. And then I use this bigger tray to carry my 2 trays around. And also this way I can put water in the big tray so that the water is absorbed upwards and I don't have to water over the top. The other thing that I don't do is pre-dampen my compost. I prefer to just fill the trays. I find it easier to fill the trays and sort of tamp it down and make sure there aren't any air pockets. And then I'll water afterwards, and I've just always done it this way. Don't forget to write a label for each one of your varieties. The labels that I use are plastic labels. Now I know a lot of people don't approve of this, but I use a garden marker, which is this one. I can link it below if you haven't come across it before. These are brilliant markers because they won't fade in the sun, and Sharpies do fade in the sun. Anyway, they are a permanent marker, but if you mark them on a plastic label, you can then clean your labels off afterwards with nail varnish remover. Use a branded one. They just work better than non-branded ones from a supermarket. But you know, just an ordinary nail varnish remover strips them completely clean, and then you can just reuse them again. These are all ones I've used before. You can see they're yellowing slightly from the sun, but that's not a problem. But they come completely clean with a bit of nail varnish remover. So I don't mind using plastic labels because I can reuse them, whereas if I used wooden labels, I wouldn't be able to reuse them. And yeah, that's my theory anyway, is that plastic labels work for me because they just last forever. I'm going to go through the varieties that I'm sowing today, and I'm going to pop a picture up on the screen so that you can see what they're like. Maybe it will inspire you to try your hand at sowing some poppies. I've seen a lot of people say that I need to get these in the soil now, and you know, poppies, it's your last chance. But actually some of these packets say that you can still sow them, you know, March through till May. Anyway, to get on with the varieties that I'm sowing today. So I am sowing one Oriental poppy, and it's called Royal Wedding. On this packet it says sow indoors or under glass from February to April, but also you can sow it in September or November, so I don't think it's too late. I think you can still sow them till April according to Chiltern Seeds. I am sowing one Iceland poppy, which is called Champagne Bubbles. It's an F1. An F1 basically means it won't come true from seed. These are poppies that I've sown before. The packets are open, which is how I can tell. I'm sowing Amazing Grey, which is a Shirley poppy, which is, some people call it a Flanders poppy. So it's your typical kind of poppy. The Flanders poppy is the red poppy that everyone loves for like Remembrance Day or Veterans Day, you know, that sort of thing. And they're also called Shirley poppies, but they come in different colours. So the other Shirley poppies or Flanders poppies I'm sowing are Pandora, which is this lovely red one. The other Shirley poppy I'm sowing is called a true Shirley poppy. I'm expecting this to be red. And I've also got a double choice of mixed colours. Hopefully they're going to be doubles and they'll be gorgeous. And then we get on to the opium poppies, which are the poppies that have like the big seed pods. So with these poppies, you not only are the flowers gorgeous, but you're able to not, if you don't cut them, your flower will go to seed and then you'll get those lovely seed heads that you can use in arrangements or dry. So I am sowing from the opium poppy range. I'm sowing Black Single from Sarah Raven. I'm sowing Gigantium. I am sowing Black Swan, Lilac Peony. I don't know why I'm bothering to show you the front of the packet because Chiltern Seeds don't put pictures on it. It's very upsetting. Lauren's Grape. I'm also sowing, this is, again, these are still opium poppies. I'm sowing Berries and Cream. Very exciting. These shiny packets are from Nikki's nursery. I'm sowing Double Raspberry. And this is my favourite, Hens and Chickens. And the reason this is my favourite is not just because of the lovely poppy flower that you get, but if you leave the poppy to go to seed, you get this amazing seed head. Obviously I'm putting a picture up on the screen because it's important for you to be able to see what I'm talking about, but the seed head is really quite different. And I think they've called it Hens and Chickens because it kind of looks like a mother hen with all her little chicks around her. That's it, everything is sown and I'm just going to go water them now. So here I've got the poppies that I've just sown at the back and the front, and over on this side these are the snapdragons that I sowed the other day. There's nothing much going on yet, but I'm keeping an eye on those. Oh, I'll do that with one hand. So you can see the condensation that you get on the dome, and that's really important to keep the seeds moist. Well, that's it today. All my poppies are sown. I have put them on the heat mats and leave the lights on above them. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, then do subscribe to my channel and follow along with the progress of everything that I'm growing this year. Thank you so much once again, and see you all next time. And I don't have a problem sitting there on a winter's evening watching a nice movie and cleaning my plant labels. Maybe that's too much information. And I've got 3 packets of that. So I've got a packet from last year, a packet that came with my Gardener's World magazine, thank you very much Gardener's World, and then I obviously in August thought, oh, quick, I need some more, and I ordered another packet from Nikki's nursery. So don't do what I do. You don't need to buy all the seeds from all the companies. I may have a thing about seeds.